Alright, guys, welcome back to Soul What Ministry. For those who have been keeping up, I believe last week I spoke about the Rubik Cube, and we had an episode on that. And today, we come live from Oklahoma, Tulsa, once again, to our viewers across the whole world, just to discuss one matter in today's episode. So what? All right. So today we will basically speak today about a topic that that has been inspired by Sister Rose. We always go at it because it seems to bug us and get annoy us, and that's the topic of church. Today teaching we will find it on Matthew chapter 16, and then we are going to start on verse 13 all the way through verse 19. I'm gonna just read two. I'm just reading right quick. Just two verses I want to touch on, and it says, when Jesus came to the region of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciple, "Who do people say that the Son of Man is?" Well, they replied, "Some say John the Baptist, some say Elijah, and others say Jeremiah, or one of the other prophets." Then he asked them, "But who do you say I am?" Simon Peter answered, "You are the Messiah, the Son of the living God." Jesus replied, "You are blessed." Key point, highlight this. Highlight verse 16 and highlight verse 17 and 18. Highlight those three verses. Watch this. Simon Peter answered, "You are the Messiah, the Son of the living God." Jesus replied, "You are blessed." Jesus replied that you are blessed, Simon, son of John, because my Father in heaven has revealed this unto you. So then Peter and Jesus told Simon, "You are blessed because my Father in heaven has revealed," keyword, reveal, "this unto you." You did not learn this from any human being. 18, this is what I'm going to teach on today. Now I say to you that you are Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church, and all powers of hell will not conquer it. Verse 19 to finish off, and I will give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven. Whatever you bind on earth has been bound in heaven. Whatever you loosen on earth will be loosened on heaven. So as you guys can see, difference from last episode and today's episode is I'm not wearing a hoodie. I'm actually, suited up. And there's a reason for that. And you will see if you continue to watch today's episode on So What. And it has been endorsed today by Coca-Cola. Share Coke for someone. So today's a topic that we will be discussing, and the topic is about church. And I'm going to challenge. I'm going to go to see if I can even go even further, because this central verse, verse 18 on Matthew chapter 16, verse 18, that has been a debate, a controversial verse between two religions such as Catholic and Christianity, where Catholic says one thing and Christianity says one thing. Catholic, arrived at because of this verse this happened and so on, but I'm gonna just give the theological background of this verse, and then we'll get to the meat. So verse 18, like I said, that's the main verse I'm gonna teach on. Now I say to you, you are Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church. The Greek word for church is ecclesia, and ecclesia, it should be somewhere in the board. Ecclesia, which means to be called out. That's the Greek version. The Hebrew version, which is the Old Testament, it means church means kahal, which is a gathering of people. So then Jesus said, upon this rock, Jesus told Peter, upon this rock I will build my church. Today we're trying to see what is church, because a lot of us, we have issue, we have question. Church is boring, church is this, or even some people decide to dress a certain way to get people to come to church, or people dress, change, whatever they have to do to get people. This is our church. I'm gonna speak on tattoos. I'm gonna speak on earrings, dress style, the way you speak. Fashion. A lot of things been going on that have caught my eyes, and a lot of things have been going on in church. But church is not church anymore. That's my opinion. Church is not church anymore because things have been going on which took the real meaning from church, which means to call out. So I'm gonna just explain quickly what did Jesus mean in a theological sense of it, and then we'll get right to it. So Jesus told Peter, Peter, upon this rock, very important. This verse is where Jesus changed Simon's name. You can find it here, where Jesus changed Simon's name from Simon to Peter, which is Petros. Petros means small rock. Then Jesus told Peter, small rock, upon this rock, which is Petros, which is a huge rock, I will build my church. And Christianity sees it as this, upon this rock, which is upon the revelation of Jesus Christ, is the Son of Man. Because Peter says, thou art Christ, the Son of God. So Jesus says, upon this rock, I will build my church. Jesus did not build his church upon fashion. Jesus did not build his church upon doctrine. Jesus did not build his church upon revelation. No, sorry, on the revelation, but not upon fashion. Jesus did not build his church on some doctrine, on some organized organization or business. How I see church is affiliate right now as a business, or upon mega church. No, Jesus is upon this revelation that Jesus Christ, the anointed one, is the Son of God. I will build my church. Now we have 4 different reviews on this according to what did Jesus mean upon this rock, and we'll find it here, the theological sense of it. One theologian says the rock means Jesus himself. Upon himself he'll build his church. Second theologian says the rock is the truth, that Jesus Christ is the Son of God. That's what that says. That's the second theologian said, hey, upon this truth that Jesus is the Son of God, I will build my church. The third theologian says the rock is Peter's faith. It says, upon Peter's faith, I will build my church. Or the last meaning of that verse, according to theology, it can be that Jesus says he built his church. Jesus says he built his church upon Peter. And that's where the Catholic comes from. Catholics believe that Peter was the first pope. And Peter was actually the main head of the church. He's the one that founded the church. He was the founder of the church, etc. But no, that's false. That's falsified. Peter was not the first pope. Peter, like I said, Peter's name means Petros, means a piece of rock. I have a diagram which I'm gonna show you later. It's upon this revelation, man, but upon Peter that I will build my church. Man, we have a tendency to misunderstand what church really is, and how to fellowship with one another. We tend to look at outward thing, and there's even people who decide to change themselves just so they say they can reach out to this type of people. You have people that never had tattoo or tattoo to get this type of people who never, let's say, people who sag just to get the saggy people who was rich become and poor to get the poor people who live normal life. They're not even rich, decide to suit up, wear suit, fancy clothes, just to fit the needs of the other people. And that's why Jesus asked his disciple, who do they say I am? Which is in my other notes. The disciples were confused because Jesus says, who do they say I am? And they is what their opinion is of who Jesus was due to his characteristic or what he did. Some people say he was John the Baptist. You'll find that in verse 14. Some people say he was John the Baptist because the way he preached, the way he taught. Some people say he was Elijah because of the signs he did. Some people say he was actually Jeremiah because he cared so much for the people. But some people said he was any other prophet. Here's what I'm trying to say. Church is church when it's founded upon Jesus Christ. Time out. Cut. I can't have this one more time. Cut. Oh boy. Oh boy. There it Yeah, as you can see, I wasn't really suited up. This is what I was wearing. I'm sorry, viewer, if I disappointed you. It was just like half a shirt. You know, you can cut it up, and it's pretty easy. Make life easier. You have half a shirt. It looks like you really had a shirt, but you never had a shirt. So here's what I'm trying to say. This is what I'm trying to portray, because most people took my message because I was wearing a suit. Because I was suited up, I had a suit on, and they thought I was a man of God because of my appearance. You see how I look. If I bow down, look like I have a suit. Looks like I'm actually dressed up for Sunday or Easter Sunday. How most people are getting ready to do. And some people decide to stoop themselves down, wear whatever they want to wear, just so they can reach out to the sinners. But to understand this, both philosophy or both theology is wrong. To suit up, to dress up, to preach the gospel is wrong, and to actually dumb down. I call it dumbing down. You dumb down yourself just so you can reach other sinners. You dumb down yourself because you say, hey, that's what Jesus would do. Jesus would never dumb down himself to preach the gospel. Jesus was himself. You have to understand to be yourself. Understand this one thing. Jesus told his disciple, who did they say I am? They gave different answers. They gave this. I bet you if I went to preach on the church like this, they would not have accepted me. Jesus says, who do they say I am? They give a whole bunch of answers. Then Jesus says, hey, okay, who do you say that I am? And that's when Peter got a revelation from God and says, hey, you are Christ, the Son of God. And that was so right. Just because he was right, Jesus gave him the access to be a piece of what is today. Understand this right now, that evangelizing is not dumbing yourself down or per se, let me be like the gangster so I can get the gangster. Let me be like the rich so I can get the rich. Let me be like the homeless so I can be a homeless. I do not have to be a homeless to reach out to the homeless. I don't have to be rich to reach out to the rich. But a lot of us, and that's one of the quote I was saying, are people going to church or are they going through church? In this age, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if people are going through church or I don't know if people are going to church or they actually going through church. Nowadays, there are people not going to church anymore, but they're going through church as a fashion show, as a runway, as a get together, as just, hey, as a boys and girl club, let me meet up through this. No, people are going through church, and the things I'm saying is church changing the world, or is the world changing the church? And that's the crazy thing about it. I see mostly worldly stuff in the church, but yet church, the definition of church in a Greek version means to be called out. To be called out, or like my other teaching, is to be sanctified, to be set apart. I don't have to be a thug to preach to the thug. It's upon this revelation I will build my church upon the revelation that Jesus Christ is the Son of God. Once I receive a revelation from God, that is enough for me to evangelize. I don't have to preach about my lifestyle. I don't have to preach about what God did to me or what God did for me. I don't have to go on babbling and yapping and just talking about what God did, what Jesus could do for you, what Jesus did for me, what Jesus has done for me. He healed the sick, he healed cancer, Jesus could save it, Jesus could give you money, Jesus can make your life better. No. You are comparing Jesus. You're not saying who Jesus really is. You comparing Jesus, just saying, Jesus, this is what you're doing. No. Jesus as a disciple, what do you say I am? And that's when Peter says upon this church, and Peter says, you are Christ. Quick question, quick second. Got me a chalkboard. I'm going to show you the secret of evangelizing. I showed my youth this, UCIA. I'm going to show it to you. Evangelizing is, this is evangelizing, is